Hello, welcome back to Fan Art Fridays. My name is Hillary, and this week's Fan Art Friday was inspired by last week's Fan Art Friday when I found this in my basement. And I found this lovely childhood memory in the basement. I don't know about you, but I loved playing Sonic as a kid, and I just had to draw Sonic after finding this lovely gem in the basement, and let's get right into it. Before we get too far into this, I really want to thank everybody for their overwhelming support on the last video. I've gotten so many messages, people talking to me, sharing their stories, reaching out, and it means so much to me. I was so nervous to upload that video, and everybody's response to it has made it completely worth it. It's even now my most viewed video on my channel, and at first I started freaking out because I'm like, oh my gosh, everybody's listening to my story, but it ended up being a really good thing, and I'm really happy I was able to share that with people and inspire others to go seek a mental health checkup, and that means the world to me to know that I encouraged others to do some healthy things for their mind, and that's so wonderful to hear. I don't want to take up too much time of this video talking about the last video, but I was just so touched by the amount of overwhelming support from the last video. I couldn't help but to comment on it, and thank you again. So looking at the Wikipedia, Sonic was released in 1991 in the US, and I would have been 1 at the time. I highly doubt I started playing it at 1, but I do remember playing dinosaur pinball when we moved to our house out in the country, which was in 1993. So I know I played dinosaur pinball there, and I believe I started playing Sonic somewhere around 3 or 4, maybe 5. But I do remember playing it with the neighbor boy down the road, and we used to play it not only on the Sega, but we would pretend we were Sonic, and we would run around in the backyard, like little crazy kids. People have several times along my life have asked me how I got into gaming, and I usually say Halo's the game that started it all for me, but that's not even true. It was dinosaur pinball and Sonic, and oh gosh, I can't even remember all the games that I had on Sega, but Sega was what started all of it. I remember doing the classic blow into the cartridge. Gosh, I can't talk today. Words are so hard. Blow into the cartridge and then put it back in, turn the Sega off, turn it back on, try to get the games to work because they never did. Kids these days will never know that struggle because everything on PlayStation and Xbox now is basically download to play, unless you go to GameStop or Amazon and you order the hard copy, which is disc. But even then, you still install it on the console and then you don't really need the disc anymore. I think the reason I don't mention Sonic and other Sega games when people ask me what got me into gaming is probably just because I was so young when I played them that it was less of get absorbed into the story, get absorbed into the characters, get absorbed into everything. It was more just, yay, I'm playing a game and I'm button smashing. But hindsight, I really did enjoy playing these games, so they should be what I say started it all, rather than giving Halo and Bungie all the credit. I really need to start giving Sega and all the games that I played on Sega more credit, just because they did start it all for me. Technically, I just didn't necessarily get as absorbed into the games as I did in other games later on. So I ended up giving my dad a phone call trying to remember some of these things that happened, 27 years ago. And he said the reason we got the Sega was because we played Sega with JP Sears, who lived next door to us at the time. And he got us into Sega playing what we believe was Madden. And it might have been Sonic 2. We're trying to remember a long time ago, but if you haven't watched any of JP's videos, I highly recommend them. Link will be in in the description. He's hilarious. He'll have you laughing until you cry. After I got off the phone with my dad, I realized I missed the wonderful opportunity to record the conversation and have that involved in this video. Dang it, because that would have been really good. I shot JP a message to see if he remembered what games we played, but as of recording this, he hasn't got back to me yet, and I have to get this out, so I don't want to wait. Moving along to the art itself, I chose a more traditional Sonic pose for this piece, which I struggled with the hands, because hands are hard. It was a little difficult, and I struggled a little bit getting the right color for his belly, or her belly. We don't, do we know what gender Sonic is? Anyway, I also went with a more traditional cartoon style cell shading, which is a little bit more difficult for me usually. I much prefer the look and feel of soft, gradual, blended shadows. It's just a personal preference. Also, I'm not sure if anyone noticed, and now I'm gonna call it out, that there was a bit of a jump cut at the beginning when I was trying to draw the shoes. That's because nobody wants to sit there and watch me try to draw shoes for like 10 minutes straight, because shoes also are very hard for me. It took me a while to get there, but we got there. It's okay. But yeah, it was a little bit of a struggle. But, you know, doing things that are difficult and getting there is what makes it worth it. This is the final piece. Thank you all for watching, and big special thanks to my patrons. Without you guys, I wouldn't be able to do this. If you're interested in becoming a patron, there will be a link down below. It's part of what makes this channel possible. Also, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye-bye!